In the heart of a sun-scorched desert, where the sands whisper tales older than time, a teenage shepherd boy hurled a rock into a cave. The year was 1947, and that simple act unleashed a secret buried for centuries, a discovery that would shake the foundations of everything we thought we knew. Inside those crumbling cliffs near the Dead Sea, hidden in clay jars, were scrolls, ancient manuscripts that spoke of angels, demons, and a world on the brink of divine judgment. Among them was a text so explosive, so forbidden, that its words have been guarded, debated, and suppressed for millennia: the Book of Enoch. This isn't just a dusty old manuscript. It's a cosmic puzzle, a story that dares to pull back the veil on reality itself. And now, in 2025, whispers of artificial intelligence cracking its code have ignited a firestorm, with rumors that the Vatican itself is desperate to bury its truths. What did they find in those cryptic pages, and why does it feel like the world's holding its breath? Picture this: a world before the flood, a time when giants walked the earth and the heavens were alive with rebellion. Enoch, a humble preacher, wasn't just any man. The Bible tells us he was so righteous that God took him. Poof, gone without a trace. No death, no grave. But the Book of Enoch? It paints a wilder picture. This guy didn't just ascend to heaven once. He was practically a frequent flyer, soaring through celestial realms, guided by angels who showed him the gears of the cosmos. He saw stars that burned with purpose, heavens that pulsed with divine light, and a darkness so deep it held prisoners, angels who'd betrayed their kind. These weren't your Sunday school cherubs with harps. These were the Watchers, celestial beings who looked down at human women, found them beautiful, and fell hard. They took wives, taught humanity forbidden arts, sorcery, weapon-making, secrets that twisted the world into chaos. Their children? The Nephilim, monstrous giants whose hunger ravaged the earth. Enoch's book doesn't hold back. It's a saga of cosmic betrayal, a warning etched in starlight. Fast forward to 2025, and the stakes are higher than ever. Scientists at a Dutch university unleashed an AI unlike any other, a program called Enoch. Ironic, right? It wasn't designed to predict the weather or play chess. No, this AI was built to decode the past, to read the faint scratches of ink on 2,000-year-old parchment. The Dead Sea Scrolls, those fragile fragments found by that shepherd boy, were its target. For decades, scholars puzzled over their faded Aramaic and Hebrew, piecing together prophecies and psalms. But Enoch the AI saw something more. It didn't just date the scrolls. It traced their origins to a time before the great empires, to a sect of mystics who hid their truths in desert caves. And in those caves, the Book of Enoch stood out like a flare in the night. Its fragments told of a 364-day solar calendar, of heavens mapped like a cosmic highway, of angels named Azazel and Gadriel who taught humanity to sin. The AI's analysis was clinical, precise, but its findings? They were dynamite. These weren't just stories. They were blueprints of a reality we weren't supposed to know. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Vatican. Rumors swirl that the Catholic Church has known about Enoch's secrets for centuries. Why else would they exclude it from the Bible? The official line is that the book's too weird, too symbolic, not inspired enough for Scripture. But dig deeper, and the whispers get louder. Some say the Vatican's archives hold Ethiopic manuscripts of Enoch, locked away in vaults where no scholar dares tread. Others claim the Church banned it in the 2nd century, when early Christians were still arguing over what to believe. But banned? That's too neat. The truth is Messiah. By the time the Bible was standardized, Enoch was already fading from Jewish and Christian circles, not because of some grand conspiracy, but because its tales of fallen angels and cosmic wars didn't fit the tidy theology of a growing church. Still, the idea that the Vatican's sitting on explosive truths? It's catnip for the curious. And when Enoch the AI started spitting out dates that pushed the scrolls back to the 3rd century BCE, older than anyone thought, those whispers turned into roars. Imagine a podcast studio, the air thick with tension. It's January 2025, and a Canadian scholar named Wesley sits across from a host whose name needs no introduction. They're diving into the Dead Sea Scrolls, and the conversation takes a turn. Wesley's no fringe theorist. He's a biblical expert, a guy who lives for ancient texts. But when he mentions Enoch, the room feels electric. He talks about the Essenes, a Jewish sect who might have written these scrolls, hiding them from Roman invaders. He describes Aramaic fragments that name angels like Uriel, Michael, and a rebel called Satan. The host leans in, eyes wide. So you're saying this book talks about interdimensional beings? Wesley hesitates, then nods. If you strip away the theology, yeah. These watchers, these Nephilim, they don't sound like they're from here. The clip goes viral, racking up millions of views. People aren't just intrigued, they're obsessed. Because Enoch's book doesn't read like a fairy tale. It feels like a warning. Let's back up. Why does Enoch matter? This isn't just about angels and giants. The book's got layers: cosmology, morality, prophecy. Its astronomical book maps the heavens with a precision that baffles scholars. A 364-day calendar, split into perfect seasons, tied to the stars. That's not guesswork, that's knowledge. Enoch's visions of judgment, of floods and fires, echo the Bible's apocalypse, but with a twist. They're personal. He's not just a prophet. He's a witness, carried to heavens where angels weep and rebel. And then there's the Son of Man, a figure Enoch sees enthroned in glory. Sound familiar? Christians see Jesus in those words, but Enoch's version is raw, untamed, a divine being who'll judge the world. This isn't a cozy bedtime story. It's a cosmic courtroom drama. But here's where it gets wild. The Book of Enoch doesn't just talk about the past. It feels like it's speaking to us. Those fallen angels, teaching humanity to make weapons and cast spells. Doesn't that sound like the chaos we've unleashed? Technology, war, secrets we weren't ready for? And the Nephilim, giants born of forbidden unions. What if they're a metaphor for our own creations, things we've built that now threaten to consume us? The internet's buzzing with theories. Are the Watchers aliens? Interdimensional travelers? Or just angels who got too curious? Posts on X light up with speculation, some calling Enoch a suppressed truth, others saying it's ancient sci-fi. But one thing's clear, people want answers. And when the AI's findings hit the headlines, claiming Enoch's scrolls predate most of the Bible, the questions get louder. Why was this book sidelined? Who decided we couldn't handle it? The Vatican's silence doesn't help. No official statement, no press release. Just rumors of closed-door meetings and cryptic tweets from insiders. One post claims a cardinal was seen leaving the archives with a face like he'd seen a ghost. Another says the Pope himself ordered a review of Enoch's manuscripts. True, probably not. But the lack of clarity fuels the fire. The Church has preserved Ethiopic copies of Enoch for centuries, so why the secrecy now? Maybe it's not about hiding the book, but controlling the narrative. After all, Enoch's tales of rebellious angels and divine judgment don't exactly scream business as usual for a 2,000-year-old institution. And if the AI's right, if these scrolls are older than we thought, they challenge everything. Not just theology, but history, science, the whole shebang. Let's talk about Enoch himself. The Bible gives him a cameo, a righteous man who walked with God and vanished at 365. But his book? It's his director's cut. He's a prophet, a scribe, a cosmic explorer. He sees heavens layered like a skyscraper, each with its own purpose. In one, he finds angels bound in chains, weeping for their rebellion. In another, he's shown the orbits of stars, named after gods like Zeus and Hermes, pagan echoes that make scholars squirm. Enoch's not just reporting, he's preaching. He warns his son Methuselah to stay pure, to keep the faith. He prophesies a flood, a judgment, a renewal. And then there's Melchizedek, a child born of a virgin, whisked to heaven like Enoch himself. These stories aren't random. They're threads in a tapestry, weaving a world where heaven and earth collide. So why the cover-up? Maybe there isn't one. Maybe Enoch's book was too strange, too vivid, for a world trying to standardize its faith. The Jews who shaped the Hebrew Bible didn't need tales of star maps and giant babies. The Christians who picked their canon wanted clarity, not cosmic chaos. But the Ethiopian Church? They kept Enoch alive, canonizing it when others turned away. Their Bible's bigger, wilder, a testament to a faith that embraces mystery. And the Dead Sea Scrolls? They prove Enoch wasn't a fluke. The Qumran sect cherished it, hiding it alongside their holiest texts. These weren't heretics. They were believers, guarding truths they thought the world needed. Now, picture this. A hacker leaks a file from the Vatican servers. It's a scan of an Ethiopic manuscript, pages of Enoch in flowing Guizi script. The internet explodes. Forums dissect every line, from the Watcher's fall to Enoch's starlit journeys. Some see proof of aliens. Others see divine revelation. A scientist on X posts a thread comparing Enoch's calendar to ancient astronomy, too accurate for coincidence. A preacher goes viral, claiming the Nephilim walk among us, disguised as moguls and warlords. The truth? It's messy. Enoch's book is a mirror, reflecting what we want to see: gods, monsters, or warnings we've ignored too long. As the sun sets on 2025, the questions linger. Did the AI uncover a secret too big to handle? Is the Vatican guarding truths we're not ready for? Or is Enoch just a story, a glimpse into a world where angels dared to dream and humanity paid the price? One thing's certain, the Book of Enoch isn't done with us. Its words, etched in desert caves and decoded by machines, still burn. They challenge us to look up, to wonder, to ask what lies beyond the stars, and what's been hidden all along.